In this video, I will review 2021. In my opinion, 2021 is basically just 2020 Part 2. January started off on a low note because school was still shit, and my Xbox One started to slow down drastically because there was a sound bar attached to the console as well as a TV. I only had a sound bar attached because the TV's internal speakers sounded like crap. Also, a girl named Lissy became part of our class, and she was so annoying that even the others didn't like her either, and honestly, I don't blame them. The teacher penalizing us whenever we talk smack about anyone didn't sort anything either. On top of that, Adobe Flash Player was discontinued and Britain left Europe, in which I'm honestly okay about. February was even worse because I got grounded from my Samsung tablet for a week. School was still boring, and the Xbox controller I got on Christmas had stopped working, and because I was mad and threw a fit, I was grounded on my mum's birthday. March was around the time when I became so obsessed with Steph that I eventually had mental breakdowns whenever she didn't come into school. At that time I couldn't control my emotions, and the other kids were fed up of all of it, and especially Taylor, who ended up telling me to fuck off about 9 times in one break time, and I would get really angry every time he'd tell me to fuck off. April made up for it, since I had binge-watched all of the Back to the Future movies, and I became so obsessed with it to the point where I developed an unhealthy obsession with Lee Thompson, who played Lorraine Baines. And hey, spending Easter at John's house was pretty fun since we had an Easter egg hunt around the house, and after another Easter egg hunt back at mine, albeit not being as fun because my parents kept making us take turns collecting the eggs. May was a good month though, because I had gotten a pedestal fan to replace the old pedestal fan which kept making stupid noises, and I also had another barbecue dinner, albeit it wasn't as good, since the house I was living in wasn't as big as the house before, and this included the garden, and as a result, we had to cook it on the grill since the garden was only a square meter wide. Also, I had got an Xbox controller the same as the one that stopped working in February. June started off on a high note, not because of school, but because my grandmother came to visit and we had another barbecue dinner, which, again, we couldn't use the barbecue in case the fences set on fire, but it was still good either way, and the bellyache was definitely worth it afterwards. After that, it was just school shit, me being a drama llama over Steph, and my TV having a noticeable downgrade in performance. July was it, the end of the crappy 2020 to 2021 school year. At the end of the year, on the last day, we had a water balloon fight, in which I would enjoy. Also, Travis made his farewell, in which we were upset about, but thank God Lissy made a farewell and all because she was annoying as fuck. August didn't go so well at first, because my Xbox One stopped working. Most likely because of how many times my parents yanked the wires out of it during all the times when I got grounded. As a result, I would end up resorting to going back to Xbox 360 for 5 months before getting a Series S for Christmas. What initially the month good though, is when I was at John's house, me and John went to Blackpool for 2 nights. That was the first time I had ever been to Blackpool in my life. And, man, wasn't it great. September was the month when I went back to school. I wasn't too sure about it at first, since the last year was boring and repetitive as fuck, but it just so happens to be that the 2021 to 2022 year turned out to be a lot better than the 2020 to 2021 year, and I could see my school life improving bit by bit. Even though I was still doing crappy B-Tech art, everything else was okay. The only thing about September was me constantly moaning about not being able to see Steph as often as I used to, which would be a good thing with the mindset I have today. October was the month when I got grounded from my Samsung tablet, until Christmas, which made me very bored. Consider the fact all I had was an Xbox 360 which didn't connect to the internet, and a smart TV that was so slow it kept rebooting, every 10 minutes. November was just all the crap about Steph at school, and just sitting at home on my Xbox 360, while also developing an unhealthy obsession with flushing toilets. December was peeking into the next year, almost, since I had a good Christmas jumper day that year, and for Christmas I had finally gotten my Xbox Series S and a new TV, as well as a Nintendo Switch. Overall, 2021 was a mixed year, bad at first, but it gradually gets better. 2022 sucked. End of review.